Alright, so for today's animation, we're going to be tackling this. It's really, really cool. It animates in and out seamlessly. It's really, really fun. If you want to see this animation some more, you can go head over to my Instagram and check it out. Here it is. Also, you can see a lot of my other work and head over to that. If you make this render, send it to me. I'd love to see it. And let's get into the tutorial. So you can do this procedure on any model you want. I'm just going to be using this face because faces are really cool and interesting when it comes to motion graphics. And so yeah, let's get into it. Now, we don't need to do any modeling. Let's just head over to the shading tab here in Blender 2.8 and click on this little camera icon, and we're going to be heading over to Eevee to render this. So let's take this, let's add a new material. Let's slide this over and add a mix shader because we're going to be mixing an emission with it. So type in emission right here, and then slide over here and plug it right into that other shader socket right there. All right, now I'm going to just add a nice blue color and give it a strength of 10 for now. And let's go over here and tell where these things should go, because right now if we just hit render, it's a pretty bright object. There you go, just solid blue. It's almost as if this isn't even there. And so first on the base color, bring it all the way to black right here, and bring your roughness all the way up so you don't even see it. So we need to tell it where to place things. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to add a Musgrave texture. So just type that in, MUS, bring it over and plug it right into the factor of our mix shader. And you can see it's already working in a pretty bizarre way, but we want to work with that and expound on it. It's being really weird. It's not supposed to look like that. So let's continue this. Let's go ahead and add a color ramp here, right here, and cut it off. So now if we do this right here, we can animate it in and out, but this isn't actually the animation. This will just show you how to play with it. But basically, you are looking at the Musgrave texture. It's a black and white image. In a way, it's a black and white image. And so in the white areas, it's showing this blue shader, and in the black areas, which is black, it is showing our black texture. We can go ahead and say we want to make it brighter. You can't see it happening, just barely. But yeah, so now it's telling it where to go. So let's go ahead and play with this some more. But first we need to add two nodes to just even things out, and that's going to be a mapping node and a texture coordinate node. A lot of you guys have been telling me about the node wrangler. I do use it in my personal work, but when it comes to these tutorials, I want you guys to see what I'm doing, to see what's going on. So let's go ahead and add our texture coordinate, and we're going to be using the object node so that when we add this texture to any object we want, everything is evenly distributed and one's not bigger and the texture isn't smaller on other objects. So now we can take our scale and bring it back up. And here we are, we have our object. Right next to the Musgrave, we're going to add a noise texture. Add this noise texture right here, and we should get that pattern. All right, so now we have our noise texture. Bring the detail down just like that. And right in between the Musgrave and the noise, we're going to add another color ramp, which is going to allow us to do that in and out animation that we want. So placing it right there. So we're going to place it right there. All right, so the pattern doesn't look like what we want. So let's take our Musgrave texture here and bring up the scale. Now we're kind of getting what we want. We can play with the detail a little bit if we want. Leave the detail at around 3. So we have this. So we can take the noise texture detail vector down just like that. And now we have this. And you can play with the detail, but I'm going to leave it all the way on 0 on the detail of our noise. And we just play with it until we like what we see. So if you want to get the same look that I have my scale here on the Musgrave at 57. It gets pretty big, so the smaller the scale. So we're just sort of filling it in with these really cool lines on the Musgrave. So bring it up like I had it around 57. So right about there, looks really good. And again, you can go in and play with it and do whatever cool things you want. And then on the color ramp here, if you see, slide the black here, you can slide the white one just like that. Before I show you how this is animated, keep in mind, see if I bring the white all the way down, it doesn't end in a black, it just ends in complete color. If you take the black here, it brings this way. So make sure that your color ramp is brought a little bit farther this way. It takes some of those lines away, but that's fine. And so now when you take the white over, it goes out just the way we want. Now let's do it. So I'm going to just slide up to get our timeline here. And then go here, timeline, and I'm going to keep it here at 120 frames. Bring this up a little bit higher so we can see what's going on. All right, so this is our area. So to get this, we'll get the white here and bring it all the way down. So start it right when it ends, so right about there. Right click, insert keyframe. I'm going to go all the way to frame 60, which is half of 120. I'm going to bring it all the way to the end, just like that. Right click, insert keyframe. Now, right click. All right, now, right here, click that. So now we're in the black one. Right click, insert keyframe, and then we're going to bring it all the way until it stops, just right there. Right click, insert keyframe. So if we press play, it should work just the way we want. And yeah, perfect. So now we have that. But on my animation, you can see, now in my animation, you see more than one color. So how do we do that? Let's go over here to the emission here and add a color ramp. Place that color ramp right there. We're going to give it the black all the way to white and make it purple. And we're going to take this one and make it blue, just like we have originally. And we're going to plug the color ramp into the color. But right now, those colors are just mixing to make a sort of a light purple. We need to take the Musgrave texture right over here. We want this texture to operate this one. So take the yellow dot here on the color, plug it right into the factor of our color ramp. And now it's working. So we just got to take this color ramp slider just like that, slide it over, and now we have two really cool colors. And let's go back to the layout view so we can see it much bigger. And let's watch it animate. And just like that, you have a beautiful animation you can play around with and be creative. And also you can substitute other textures as well. It doesn't have to be those two specific textures, but in my opinion, these look the best in all my experimentation, but you can do whatever you want. So there you go. All right, now all we have to do is export this. So let's go over here to this little printer icon. Right here, just select where you want to save it. And right here, go from PNG to FFmpeg video. Click encoding, change it from this to the MP4 and go from medium quality to high quality. And then right up here, render animation, and then you're good. So there you go. I hope you enjoyed it. Feel free to send it to me on Instagram if you made it, and thanks for watching.